Hey guys, how you going? So today on BCast Sport, we are back and we're doing Premier League previews episode 2. I hope you're ready for this because I know I am. So if you haven't obviously checked out the first episode where we previewed the first 5 teams, then go and check that episode out here. Just click this box here. In that episode we spoke about Everton, Arsenal, Stoke, Bournemouth and Middlesbrough. Straight into this, and the first team we're going to be talking about is Sunderland, now managed by the infamous David Moyes. In regards to signings, there really isn't much to talk about, so I'm just going to have the one name here, and that's Papy Djilobodji. Papy Djilobodji. Moving on to the losses now, Danny Graham, Stephen Fletcher, Wes Brown, Emmanuel Giaccherini, Mikhail Mandron, Santiago Virgini, and then we've got 2 players out on loan, and that's Adam Matthews and Will Buckley. Okay, let's discuss Sunderland a bit. So, for the last 4 seasons, they've been in a relegation battle, and fair enough, they haven't been fantastic. They've stayed up from relegation by 2 points, 3 points, 5 points, and 3 points. That is not fun for a Sunderland fan. It seems with Sunderland that every single year it's just the exact same thing. Year on, year out, it's just kind of, Sunderland fans know what's pretty much going to be coming. For the first 3 quarters of the season, it is absolutely dire. And then, for the last quarter of the season, just like what Wigan used to do before they got relegated, they kind of turn it on. They turn it on and get some surprising results that obviously just managed to keep them up in the Premier League. Regarding the manager, Sam Allardyce, obviously he left, caused a massive reshuffle and massive turmoil at that club. But we all know who Sunderland now have. The man, the machine, the chosen one, David Moyes. We love you, Moisey. We do. We love you, Moyes. We do. Oh, no, we don't. No, we don't. With Danny Graham and Stephen Fletcher leaving, that is 2 experienced forwards that they're going to be missing out on at the front. I know they've got Defoe, but he's not getting any younger. Then you've got Emmanuel Giaccherini, who has left for Napoli. Really liked Giaccherini as a player, but now he's gone. That's a really quality midfielder that they're going to be lacking. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I would predict them directly off looking at their team lineup, their starting 11, I'd predict them for relegation. I would. It's just simple as that. But David Moyes, as much as I may insult him, as much as I may laugh, as much as we all may laugh, he's a great manager for a team in this position. I think this is the perfect place for David Moyes to be. Man United, he has a lot of pressure on him there. He went from Ferguson left him in the absolute shit. When he was at Everton, he was fantastic, and Sunderland, I feel that is a perfect team for him because can grind out a 0-0 draw or can snag that luckier goal away to one of the top dogs. Okay, so my prediction, I'm going to be putting them in 16th position. I think they're going to do pretty much exactly what they do every single other season. They'll just survive. I do think that after this season they might kind of climb the table a bit more, but one question is, with Newcastle relegated, where are they going to get their 6 points from? Second in the 5 teams for episode 2 is Manchester United. Now, a lot of you guys know exactly who I support, and put it this way, Man United is not the team I support. But this is going to be a completely unbiased view of the signings and the losses and the discussion surrounding United. You're going to be surprised where I put them in the end. The signings for Man United, they're pretty huge. I think we all knew that was going to be the case after Louis van Gaal left and Jose Mourinho came into the managerial position. Zlatan Ibrahimovic, Paul Pogba, we'll talk about that later, Eric Bailly and Henrik Mkhitaryan from Borussia Dortmund. Then there is the losses, Tyler Reid, Victor Valdez, Nick Powell, Jimmy Dunn, Ashley Fletcher, Joe Rothwell, and on loan out to Eintracht Frankfurt is Guillermo Varela. Well, shit. I say that because, look, I don't really want to say anything positive about United, but it's just too hard not to. They have changed from the previous 4 years where they were just dire. They were definitely not the better team in Manchester. It is a big risk that Jose Mourinho comes in. I think we all know what he did to Chelsea at the end of last season. Midway through last season when he got sacked in December. The state that he left Chelsea in is kind of worrying for United fans. I know United fans are all excited, and look, to be honest, no matter what you say, no one's going to listen to you when it comes to United fans. However, I do think it's a big risk. He left them in an absolute dire state. 9-game loss streak, and he just ruined everything for Chelsea last season, which is kind of worrying for United. Though, in saying that, his nickname is the special one. I think we all know that, but I think we all also know that United don't exactly have the best experience with nicknames on managers. Regards to the losses, I don't think there's too much really to talk about at United, but in the signings there definitely is. Don't know too much about Eric Bailly, so I'll kind of leave him for the people who do know a lot about him. But I will talk about the other three. Enrique Mkhitaryan, great player from Borussia Dortmund, really good pickup. Paul Pogba, now he's a very bit debatable kind of topic in regards to United transfers. I don't really think it was the best of business. I don't think anyone thinks it was the best of business. 5 or 6 years ago, they let him go 4-0. This time around, they've bought him back for about £100 million. Is he worth it? That remains to be seen. He doesn't look like he does too fantastically in like the big matches, the big games, when he was at Juve, Champions League final, or when he was in France in the World Cup final. I just don't feel like he's a Premier League quality. I loved him at Juve, don't get me wrong. I thought he was fantastic there, but that setup is so different to United. But look, it remains to be seen. I'm interested to see how Pogba goes. And then you've got Zlatan Ibrahimovic, quality striker. Not even going to deny that. He's going to be in the top 3 for goals scored this season. However, will he adjust to the Premier League that quickly? He went from PSG. France, look, it's a pretty weak league. I'm pretty sure we can all agree with that. But in saying that, Zlatan, that is odd. Prediction for the season. Now, you guys can be very surprised where I put them. I think United are back. I do. I think United are back. I don't think they have what it takes to win the league again just yet, but I definitely think that they are back. So I'm going to be putting them in second place. Some United fans are probably going to be like, why are you putting us in why are you putting second with the second fans? That is definitely exactly how they sound like as well. I don't think I'm being that biased at all. I honestly think United will be back, but I think, like I've said in the previous video, this season is going to be absolutely jam-packed at that top of the table. Number 3, and we are talking about West Brom, managed by Tony Pulis. In regards to the signings, the only person coming in is Matt Phillips from QPR. Then in the losses, there is Anders Lindegaard, Stefan Sessegnon, and Victor Anichebe. There's not really too much to talk about at West Brom. There's not much of a big preview. I guess I've spoken a lot about Sunderland United, so it's kind of good that it's not going to be that long. But West Brom under Tony Pulis are much like what Stoke City were under Tony Pulis. Go figure. Once were a yo-yo club, but now Tony Pulis has really kind of brought in that defensive over offensive kind of playing style that he brought to Stoke. He's done the same thing with West Brom, unattractive style of football. I think we can all agree, even you Brummy fans probably won't be that excited about this season coming because, look, it's just not that attractive football to watch. Though, why would you fix something that's not broken? Stoke never got relegated. West Brom aren't going to get relegated with this system, so there's no point fixing something that isn't broken. And it should be Sessegnon and Lindegaard obviously moving on due to age. Matt Phillips coming in to reinvigorate the midfield a little bit from QPR. Don't know how much that's going to do, but I don't know too much about Matt Phillips. In saying that, I really hope that he can do something because it really needs to kind of give the fans some excitement. Look, you kind of get over it after a couple of years of just kind of mid-table mediocrity. Player of the season has to be Johnny Evans from West Brom. He needs to have a big season. He actually died defender. Rondon is going to be the sole striker pretty much because we don't know what's happening with Berahino. Prediction time, and I'm sorry West Brom fans, but it's going to be another kind of bland, boring season for you guys of just mid-table mediocrity. I'm going to put you guys in 12th place. I'm sorry guys, but you're just not bad enough that you're going to be going for relegation, but you're not good enough to kind of be pushing anyone besides those mid-table teams for a position. But with Tony Pulis there, I'm pretty sure we know exactly what you're going to get from him. Number 9 of the series and number 4 of this episode is Liverpool, managed by Jurgen Klopp. There has been an insane amount of movement around this club, so sit down, buckle up, because it's going to take a while to get through these names. Regards to the signings, Joel Matip and Loris Karius coming into the squad, Ragnar Klavan and Alex Meninga are the big names obviously for Liverpool in the signing. Sadio Mane from Southampton and Giorgio Wijnaldum from Newcastle. Moving on to the losses now, João Carlos Teixeira, Kolo Touré, Jerome Singler, Lawrence Vigouroux, Jordan Rosseter, Jose Enrique, Samad Yessel, Sergi Canos, Martin Skrtel, Jordan Ibe, Joe Allen, Brad Smith, and on loan out, John Flanagan, Adam Bogdan, and Danny Ward after Huddersfield. Firstly, I just want to commend and congratulate Liverpool Football Club on just being a phenomenal charitable organisation. £30 million they always donate to the Southampton Foundation each season is just phenomenal, and look, it really goes leaps and bounds for their team. Big movements around Liverpool, 21 players either going or coming, 15 actually going and 6 coming, so big difference there. I do think that Martin Skrtel and Joe Allen are big losses, but needless to say, it's been a rampant window for Liverpool. Sadio Mane and Jorginho Wijnaldum are fantastic buys to the club. Jorginho Wijnaldum Newcastle. Newcastle relegated, so obviously he had to come up because he is just a quality player and he will really reinvigorate the kind of offensive qualities of Liverpool. That, along with Sadio Mane, these two are really going to be linking up. I do feel that Mane and Wijnaldum are perfect for those mid-table clubs. I'm sorry, Liverpool fans, I don't mean to upset you, but I just kind of feel that you're a mid-table club. You're not exactly fantastic at the moment, but look, Jurgen Klopp is kind of making groundwork. Speaking of Jurgen Klopp, I just want to say it is phenomenal to see all these managers in the Premier League this season. Pep Guardiola, Antonio Conte, Jurgen Klopp, Jose Mourinho. It's just fantastic to see, and I'm really excited about this season. Prediction time, and I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for this, but I'm putting in Liverpool 7th place. I think they're going to be right between Everton and Stoke on the table. But in saying that, 6th to 9th is going to be just jam-packed in my opinion. I think the 1st to 5th is going to be jam-packed, and then 6th to 9th is going to be the exact same. So you can kind of finish anywhere between 6th and 9th in my opinion, but I feel that I'm going to give you the 7th position. I feel that Everton just have a little bit better with Ronald Koeman as the manager, and I feel they're just going to sneak above. Finally, we're at number 10, which is number 5 in this episode, and that is Leicester, managed by Claudio Ranieri. The champions of England, unbelievable, but we'll get talking about that in a second. Let's talk about some of the signings that they've made. Robert Zila, Luis Hernandez, Raulus Raulio, Raulus Rabio, Bartosz Kapuska, Ahmed Musa, and Nampalys Mendy. Then there's the losses: Mark Schwarzer, Andre Kramaric, Paul Konchesky, Ryan Watson, Dean Hammond, N'Golo Kante, Harry Paniotio, and Joe Dodu. Then out on loan is Michael Caine and Hamza Choudhury. Leicester fans, before you sit down and watch what I'm about to say, I've got some advice for you. 3 pieces of advice for you guys before listening to what I'm about to say. 1, grab a throat soother. 2, grab a stress reliever. And 3, go and get yourself a triple shot coffee. Now, 1 and 3 of those pieces of advice are for obviously the hangover from all the parties you've been doing in this off-season after fantastically winning the Premier League last season. But number 2, probably you're not going to like what I'm about to say, so you might need a stress reliever to kind of... Do I have one? Do I have one? Losses, or should I say loss for Leicester. N'Golo Kante is an absolute critical blow for the defensive qualities of Leicester. Constant talk about Riyad Mahrez going as well and being spotted at Chelsea and Arsenal is kind of worrying for Leicester fans too. Without Riyad Mahrez, they're not going to be anywhere near as good as they were last season. Sorry, Leicester fans, but if you know it's true. I will not be surprised if he's there within the next week or so. Also, a bit of a forgotten name at Leicester, Andre Kramaric. A lot of teams a couple of years ago were absolutely just clamouring for his signature, but Leicester won out in the end. Now, he hasn't done anything for Leicester. They didn't give him an opportunity. So now he's gone off to Hoffenheim, and I think that he's going to really excel there. I think he's really going to show. But in saying that, yeah, Leicester won the league, so they didn't really need him. However, although Conte did leave, Nampalys Mendy has to make a switch from France to England, Leicester to kind of fill the void left by Conte. I think it might take some time for him to kind of adapt to the Premier League. I think he's going to be very similar to what Mangala. Ahmed Musa has been brought to bolster the forward line, kind of to back up Jamie Vardy, because I don't think that Jamie Vardy is going to really have another season as fantastic as he did last season. Prediction time, and I'm going to be putting them in 15th. This is why I said grab the stress reliever. I feel that with Champions League, with FA Cup, with League Cup, with 38 matches in the Premier League, with all the the eyes of the world on Leicester to kind of back up this fantastic season they've had, I don't think they're going to be able to kind of maintain that same kind of charge they did last season. The usual hangover from City, Chelsea, United, they'll be there for Leicester. Alex Ferguson once said 2 years in a row is absolutely ridiculous. Now, if these teams like City, United, Chelsea, Arsenal are all struggling to win 2 years in a row, do we really think Leicester's going to be able to do anything of the sort? I really don't think so. I personally feel that a lot of teams will understand them now, and they'll be happy to take a draw away, or they'll be happy to take a draw against them. The lack of depth is also telling, and with Kante gone and Mahrez probably gone as well, look, I don't feel that Leicester will have a good season at all. Anyway, guys, if you did like it, please give me a thumbs up so that I know that you're enjoying this series. There's still 2 more episodes to go, one coming out tomorrow and the last one out on Saturday, the day of the start of the Premier League. Very, very excited. Now, if you did like these videos, then do click the subscribe button. There is so much content coming out. I've got videos planned every day until I think the 23rd of August. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. See you tomorrow. See ya.